Hey guys, welcome back to T-Rod Whiskey. And tonight we're going to do something I've been looking forward to for tens of days now, easily. As soon as I found out that this was coming to the state of Michigan, I knew I had to have one. I knew I had to sample it. Tonight, we are checking out the Jimmy Russell 70th anniversary Wild Turkey 8-year. So strap in, let's roll that intro. Let's kick this off. So, anybody who knows anything about Wild Turkey, one of the first things that should come to mind is Jimmy Russell, legendary master distiller at Wild Turkey. Now his son Eddie Russell is starting to follow in his footsteps, kind of take the reins over. But I gotta say, 93, 94, 95 years old, I'm not sure exactly how old Jimmy Russell is, but I did have the pleasure of meeting him this summer, and it was awesome. Being in the room of excellence like that, or in a room with excellence, is just like, it's an experience. But this, for all intents and purposes, this is Wild Turkey 101. Kind of the same as this, except it is blended with barrels from some of the honey spots or the sweet spots in some of Jimmy's favorite rick houses. And if anybody knows those rick houses or knows where the best bourbon matures or comes from, I tend to believe it's going to be Jimmy Russell. You spend 70 years doing a job. I don't know if there's anybody in the world that's going to do that job better than him, right? I don't think anybody else is going to be able to make Wild Turkey quite as good as him. And I'm sure Eddie will do a damn fine job once he takes over full time and he'll have his own amazing bourbons, but there'll be just something a little bit different about what Jimmy does. And when we were at the distillery this summer, I did pick up one of these private select bottles that I actually got signed by Jimmy Russell. And it is one of the highlight bottles from my summer trip and one of the most valued bottles in my collection. Since 1954, when he became the master distiller, Wild Turkey has seen a ton of transformation, right? You went from being owned by Austin Nichols to where they're at now. They relocated their distillery. They've kind of changed up their branding and their bottling. They've been through umpteen different versions of their product, but through it all, Wild Turkey has remained synonymous with just damn fine bourbon. Okay, it doesn't get any better than this. Dusty Turkey is some of the greatest whiskey that will ever touch your lips. I'm fortunate enough that I got a couple of these bad boys. I got an old dusty bottle of 101. I got a dusty bottle of, I think it's just regular rye. I got some Wild Turkey 81s from the Austin Nickel days, and I bogard those things with my life because they are fantastic. But what we're going to do tonight is we're just going to get into this. We're going to give it a go, see what we think, and then maybe we'll pop into the regular Shelfer 101, which is about half the price, and see if it really is different than this guy. So this is a fresh pop. This has not been opened yet, so decent cork pop. All right. All right. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a little bit of like a burnt citrus rind that jumps out immediately with some oak, some cherry. There's like a spice cabinet kind of note in there. I can't pin it down just yet. I want to say that's like a nutmeg. It's not quite cinnamon, but I mean, it's oily. It's viscous. Coating the glass real nice, which means it is going to coat my mouth real nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, that spice note cranked up to 11, right? There's the vanilla, the caramels, those traditional notes, it's almost butterscotch, but not quite. There's some cinnamon, not like red hot cinnamon, but like baking cinnamon. Mm-hmm. little bit of a cherry wood flavor there. Definitely some barrel char. That is really good. Like, this is not like life altering, but like it's damn good. Mm-hmm. See, and this is what I'm talking about. Jimmy just knows what he's doing. And I think when he picked these barrels, he did an exceptional job with the blend, because I hunted for, this is going on like 3 weeks that I've been looking for these bottles. And a coworker of mine was cool enough to grab these on his lunch. Connor, talking to you, appreciate you, bro, because I was not going to be able to get these otherwise. He went and grabbed them for me, and I'm very glad I got this one. I got a backup. If I see another one, I'll probably grab another backup just to bunker it. My gosh, is that good? Mm. Yeah, a little bit of just like a pinch of, like, there's like a weird cloviness on the very, very finish that's just faint, just a wisp. But the finish is long and inviting, and it's sweet, and it's a little woody, and there's just a hair of wood tannin in there that isn't off-putting, but it's good. So what I'm going to do now is we're going to compare with the shelf bottle of the Wild Turkey 101 and see whether or not this is as good, or maybe not as good. Maybe it's better. I don't know. I haven't been in this one in a minute, but give that the old swirl job. Get that nice and aerated. Okay. No citrus on this one. This one has more of like a medicinal cherry, not straight cherry, but like a medicinal cherry syrup that just kind of circling. A little bit of a wood note. Yeah, wood note and cherry cough syrup, almost like a medicinal cherry syrup. So this is kind of the same spicy notes, just not as punchy, not as cranked up, not as prominent, I guess, because they are the same proof. This one has a little bit more of that caramel note, a little bit more like a dulce de leche pudding, kind of almost like a. I almost want to say it's like a flan, but it is not nearly that sweet. But it has that kind of taste, that almost that kind of creaminess to it. A little bit of a butterscotch finish there. It's just a little bit smoother. This one is a little more aggressive, a little more in your face, a little bit spicier, and I like that. I like that a lot. I would not turn down either of these, obviously, because I have quite a few turkey products, but this one here, I'm not mad at the price tag. Okay. So for $20 to $25 more, you're getting what I'm going to consider to be a little bit of a collector's item or a little bit of a history piece. And if it's something that you just want to drink, I think that the age statement works in its favor. I think that it is a fantastic drinking experience. I think that the flavors are right where they're supposed to be. And this is a really good classical bourbon expression from a legacy Kentucky distillery and a legend of the whiskey world, right? So why would you pass up one of these? If you see this on your shelf at your local grocery store or one of your local party stores, and it's priced right around that $50 mark, guys, I'm going to tell you to go ahead and pick it up. That's my opinion. I'm not going to give it a score because I can't really do it any justice. I just compared it to something else. But I will tell you, I think this is really good. I think it's worth the extra money. I think the presentation is fantastic. I like this label. I mean, obviously, it's the same bottle. The glass is the same, but the stickering is a little different, and it is age stated. And from what I've heard online, this blend has some 9-year or 9.5-year in it. And I don't think it's going to be too much older than that, because Jimmy doesn't really believe in ultra high aged products. I don't know how much of a fan he was of like the Russell's 13, 15. Obviously, it's fantastic bourbon, but from everything I've read and the very, very brief conversation I had with him, 8 to 9 years is kind of where he thinks the bourbon sweet spot is. And the back of this bottle says, when you enjoy something, you never work a day in your life. So by that logic, Jimmy hasn't actually gone to work in 70 years. We should all be so lucky. But this is good. This made my day. It's been a rough week. It's been a very trying week. So to find this was very welcome, very stress relieving, very cathartic. I'm definitely going to pour a little bit more of this. Now, there is usually a standing rule here in the Speakeasy, right? We don't visit the same bottle twice in a row. I might fracture that rule just a little bit and give myself a little more of this one, but if you like that Wild Turkey profile with the spicier characteristics kind of pumped up a little bit, this is for you. But that's what I've got, guys. I think it's absolutely worth it. I think it's a buy on site. I would buy a backup because I don't know how long these are going to be on the shelves. I know they said they produced about 80 times more of this than what they do of their normal allocation. So this is something that I would definitely encourage you to grab up if you haven't already. But I mean, honestly, any turkey product, it's going to be hard to go wrong with, right? You got your Russell's Reserve, the 101. Some of these private barrels are starting to make their way out, right? You got the Rare Breed, which is often considered one of the best bargains in bourbon. You know, a cask strength Wild Turkey product. You got the Kentucky Spirit single barrels that are starting to become less and less prevalent, especially some of these Camp Nelson bottlings. And then if you're lucky enough to find one of these Dusties, don't even think about it, just buy it. And if you don't want to buy it anyways. But with that, guys, as always, please smash that subscribe button, hit that like button. Feel free to share this post with your friends. We're trying to grow the channel, right? And then leave a comment below. If I'm annoying, let me know. If there's something you'd like to see different, let me know. If you guys have a request for a specific type of video, let me know. I'm open to it. But other than that, I hope everybody has a fantastic weekend. I hope everybody finds the bottles they're hunting for this allocation season, and we will see you next time. Cheers.